radio studio for Parties Extra. I'm Helen Ford Wallace, and Parties Extra is brought to you by our sponsor, Party Galaxy. Here today with me are Shelley Adler and Chris Dane. They're from What's Cooking. Welcome you all.
Thank you, Helen. We're glad to be here.
Well, you brought a wonderful array of desserts, but you have breakfast, lunch, and dinner besides desserts. So
we do. We cover about anything. So everybody should come by and check out what we have. We do lots of carry-out food for all kinds of occasions.
I think you all, when we first started doing Parties Extra, you were probably one of our first people because you were right there close by us. So we're just glad to see you again.
Well, it's always fun to come down here, and we like your new place and ours as well. So. And
you've been in your new place for 2 years.
Almost. It'll be September, 2 years.
And you really like it.
We love it. It has been the best move. Yeah, I was a little nervous about doing all that, but it's worked out nicely, and we're happy. And
we've gotten a lot more business.
And we're a lot busier.
We're a lot busier.
Shelley, you all have lots of ovens and things, don't you?
We do. We divided this one into two sections. They have the bakery section has their own little sink and oven and stove and all that, and then the main line cooking has a couple of big convection ovens and a line of burners and stoves and stuff like that.
And so you're busy catering all the time, and I think you have put on a night staff, weekend staff, so you have people cooking.
Just out of
What's Cooking is cooking constantly.
Out of necessity, we have done that. We used to have our customers trained pretty well that don't come till Monday afternoon, you know, when you don't get here, we're not spending Sunday. But I lost control, and so I have a lovely employee on her crew who will come in on Sunday and get a lot of it prepped, so we have something to open with on Monday, because it takes us a while, you know, to start from scratch on Monday morning. So they are lovely to do that, and I'm grateful that they do. And then one of them comes in at night, or actually now 2 or 3 of them come in at night and stay till 11 or midnight and prep a bunch of stuff for the next day ready as well. Yeah, so we're busy down there.
Well, you know more about parties than most anyone, so tell us what people are asking for dessert.
Well, we brought some cool summer desserts since it will be hot in Oklahoma right away, and then some old standby favorites as well. So since Chris does most of the desserts there, I used to, but I don't get to anymore.
She's too busy shopping.
I'm shopping. I'm not at Neiman Marcus either. So I always tell them, it's not Neiman Marcus, it's Sam's. So I'll let her talk to you about the chocolate mousse is one, and Panna Cotta is another that are over there.
This is an espresso panna cotta, which is a nice little afternoon treat instead of your little 5-hour energy. It's very good. The chocolate mousse we sell a lot of. It's very popular.
Well, it's just, I like the way it's served too. I like that
beautiful.
a lot.
And you can do the vanilla one as well, and then put lots of different berries or peaches or whatever the fruit of the moment.
You can do a variety on that same recipe, just depending on what flavoring you want to add. Like with this one, I did the espresso, and if I do another recipe, I'll put like a vanilla bean in it and just have it straight vanilla, or put any kind of liqueur in it that you want.
And she even did a fancy one in a wine glass that was half vanilla and half espresso, and it was
real creative.
It was beautiful.
Well, I get to play around a lot. So
and we made her play around a little extra, so because we kept eating the results. So.
Well, I think you have the best chocolate chip cookies in town. So tell us about the cookies.
I do too. I think they're delicious, and they're just I call them mom cookies because it actually is my mom who makes them, and she's 77, and they're just a standard old chocolate chip cookie, but I think that's the best, made with the old-fashioned way. And so they're delicious. We sell lots of those too, and if you'll notice, they're still undercooked slightly because I like them chewy and soft.
Chewy's good.
But they're still one of my favorites.
But you make other cookies too?
We make lots of all kinds of cookies, yes. Some other unusual ones are
peanut butter molasses. People really appreciate, because you don't find those, you know, in the bakeries or grocery stores very much. And oatmeal coconut is another big favorite.
Oh, that
oatmeal raisin.
And Chris makes the coconut macaroons, which are one of my favorites.
Haven't made those in a while.
And you make the coconut cakes too, don't you?
Occasionally.
And then you all have special fudge.
We do. That's my mother again. We have to coerce her to do that in December, but it is especially good fudge. It's just rich and chocolatey and soft and wonderful.
And I remember you all telling me how many gallons and gallons of banana pudding you put out. And it was Gary England that came and bought gallons and gallons.
Yes, he does. And he held it up on air and said, if you want good banana pudding, this is where to go for it. And then his wife started coming in and regulating how much he could get. But that's funny. This one is an interesting thing, too. It's an apricot sorbet. And I had it many years ago, and I've spent the last several years trying to recreate what I had because I loved it so much. But you make a little sorbet, and it's just canned apricots and apricot jam, a little lemon juice and a little orange juice, and freeze that. So anybody can do it. You can have it ready in your freezer. And then you put a little cream on the top, and it will crackle. Anyway, like that. And when it's frozen,
maybe not under our lights.
maybe not under TV lights, but when it's cold, it'll crackle a little bit, and it is just a divine summer dessert.
It's your favorite.
It's one of my favorite things. Yeah, I really like it. I'm an apricot fan, and you don't see them too much anymore. They're kind of.
And you said that actually you're just back from Australia, and you showed them how to make tapioca, and you said that that the retro desserts are kind of coming back. So tell us a little bit about this great tapioca.
Well, this is much to Chris's dismay, I think. One day she made the fatal mistake of saying, well, what if we tried some tapioca out there? I don't know if anybody would buy it, but we'll try that. And so it went very well. And
it's gone from, you know, a nice stock pot size to over 6 gallons
of milk, and we make it this giant steam kettle thing now. It's so crazy.
Well,
and people come in,
good.
it is delicious.
It's wonderful.
It's
comfort food, you all.
It's something a lot of people remember from many years ago, and even during the war, it was something my grandmother would talk about they could have because it didn't require that much sugar or eggs or things like that. So a lot of the young kids had never seen it except at the grocery store in a little pre-made cup of it. So we started making that, and people come in and get four and 5 of them at a time. It's so crazy.
And in Australia?
Australia, the little girl wanted to learn to make it, and so I told her, oh, we can make that. That's easy. I can show you. Well, I set myself up for a crazy thing because we go to the grocery store, and it was raw sugar, which I'm not familiar with. The tapioca were bigger beads of it. The milk was different, and we started making this stuff that didn't
How'd it
really.
turn out?
They liked it. They didn't
know any different.
I prefer this version, but it was pretty good. They liked it, and they ate all of it, and they thought it was fun. But I just think it's interesting that we sell so much of it, even to young people, and they had not had it, and they're kind of liking all the old-fashioned desserts. We do apple crisp and
peach cobbler,
peach cobbler,
a lot,
cherry cobbler, mixed berry,
and your little pies.
The little apricot pies,
popular,
and
even the
triple cherry pie.
Pineapple upside down cake too is another old favorite thing. But sometimes I think the old favorites are better than some of the new fancy stuff, personally.
But there are some new fancy things.
There are new fancy things that are delicious.
And you
as
all
well,
do cakes. I think you do a lot of cakes.
We do a
You do
tremendous
that
amount
wonderful
of,
chocolate sheet cake. I do know that.
We do a lot of that. We do a lot of strawberry Bavarian is probably the most requested one. But we do triple chocolate and orange blossom and
carrot cake.
Carrot cake is
bundt cakes.
my
you
favorite.
Have all kinds
bundt
of bundt cakes.
Yes.
And then you have these wonderful breads.
Our little breads that we sell
Tell us about
a lot
that.
of. So you're down in that department. Do you want to
I'm
talk
down
about
in that department.
and they whip out hundreds of these little loaves of them.
We go through a lot of breads each week. We usually make it's probably 40 loaves of each of those per week, sometimes even more depending on the season.
Amazing.
So,
It's a lot of
they
loaves.
fly out the door.
They do. My grandkids are fond of the pumpkin particularly, and so they all come in and they all have to take it home for breakfast. So.
That's a great thing to have for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, I think. So do you ever just have a dessert party?
Oh, occasionally we've done a little afternoon tea or something like that. That were mostly sweets, but Not too much. I think there should be more of them personally. I'm a dessert fan. That's what made me start cooking when I was young. Is I wanted to have pie for breakfast, and so
great.
That's what
that's
I started,
a good incentive.
Started doing, and eventually I was teaching my mother pie crust when I was 12. Probably I had to give her a lesson because I'm the one who did.
Well, I think it's neat that people can drop by there for lunch. So what do you have for lunch? What's cooking for lunch?
Well, we have quite a lot of variety of stuff in the deli case that they can pick up and just take back to their office. All kinds of salads and vegetables and things like that. And then we do a lot of specialty salads too, like an Asian chicken salad and a field green with grilled chicken and
wraps. You do some wraps.
We do some wraps. We try to keep lots of homemade soups, and we sell them year round. I always thought, when it was a hot August day, nobody would want that, but they buy it all the time. So since our move to our new kitchen, we have a lot more stop in at lunch and take it back.
The only thing is they can't stay and eat it. We have no place for them to sit.
They have to take it and go.
They have to take it.
That's good. That's all right.
But they do sometimes call us too and say, "Hey, will you throw a pan of whatever you have in there?" And so they'll come by and pick up a hot pan of something, or take a pan back to their office if they're feeling generous. And
you all been over to the Arts Festival, so tell us about what you did over there.
We did. I barely landed from Australia, and we went to the right at the beginning of the Arts Festival. So we did the Tuesday at 1:30 or something like that slot, and it was really fun. It looks great. I think their new home is wonderful.
And you took all your desserts?
And we took a lot of desserts over there too, and that was something we could get together.
And so we're coming up on wedding season, engagement season, June's coming up. So do you do wedding cakes?
We do some wedding cakes. I don't try to do a whole lot of wedding cakes, frankly, but we can do them. Annie does do some wedding cakes. Sometimes I like to have a little bit of a life and try to anyway.
I've seen some of your cakes though. They're
but
beautiful.
The cakes are beautiful. We don't tend to get into the ultra fancy ones, but if it's our preference is that it tastes good and be beautiful as well.
It can be a little stressful.
They're very stressful.
So we kind of try to steer away from that.
But if we have a bride who likes, who wants the cake to be delicious and likes a simple kind of a cake, then we do some of them. Yeah, Annie's pretty good at it.
So
Chris has done them
Your
too.
favorite is the sorbet.
I love the sorbet.
Ooh, the Panna Cotta.
It's your favorite.
That's my new best favorite.
It is delicious. But she makes creme brulee too, which is
that sounds
another favorite at the kitchen. I like that one too.
I think that's hard to make though, isn't it?
No, it's very, very easy. The only thing that I have a problem with is once, the top is bruleed, it can't sit there too long. So, if people come in and want it and say, will you top this for me? Of course I will. So
that means we have to do them frequently.
Yeah.
It's another one of those cursed things she dreamed up.
Tell us about, tell us your address.
We are at 337 West Wilshire, Suite C. And there's a big red awning that says what's cooking, and we have a crazy sign out front with a big pot with flames on it. So
it's a big sign.
It's a big sign. It doesn't look that big, but I could get in that pot when it was on the ground. So we came up with that one, so they should be able to find it.
And you have, what's your website?
It is what'scookingok.com, and that'll give you at least some information about it. You still have to call us because we have a joke that we can feed 1,000 people, but we can't get things on paper very well. So the website gives you some pretty basic information and enough to call us and say, hey, what about
this?
What's
the phone number?
Phone is 843-6530.
And your hours?
We are there 9 to 6 Monday through Friday and 10 to 1 on Saturday, which is a new thing for the new kitchen, but it's become a pretty big day, and so it's nice for people to be able to pick up things for the weekend.
Saturday's a great day to come over.
Yeah, and so we catch a lot of people who can't come during the week too much, so we decided we needed to do that. It was time.
Okay, so anything else about what's cooking or your desserts or anything you want to say?
We haven't seen you in a while.
Come on over. We've been missing you. Come over. We do have some weddings coming up. We don't do a whole lot of weddings. We do more corporate stuff, but we have some, including for me tomorrow. I have a family member having a wedding shower, and they asked me if I'd do the mashed potatoes. Well, it keeps growing. First it was, well, I think 40. Well, it looks like it's going to be 60. Now it's 100 people. So my day off tomorrow, I'm going to go in and make mashed potatoes for 100 people for my own family. Yes.
Well, they probably want some more things too.
Well, they would love it, but my cousin Sherry has taken over. My grandmother always made chicken and noodles. That was our family thing, and she makes the homemade noodles and the whole bit. And so she's the one having the heart attack over the 100 people because she's actually making the real noodle. And I said, I'll help you out. I can make the mashed potatoes. So got quite a few wedding rehearsal dinners and engagement parties and things like that coming up. And graduation, that's a big one too. We do a lot of cakes and all kinds of parties for that.
Well, Shelley and Chris, you all just make the very best food. It just tastes wonderful. Viewers drop by. You won't want to leave without some of the chicken salad, chocolate chip cookies, or chicken crepes. Vodka pasta is a big favorite too.
It's a favorite.
It's just fun to check out all of the food at What's Cooking.
Well, we love everybody to come visit us. Thank you, Helen, for having us. It's fun.
Thank you.